What?
Oh, it was hilarious. And you know Steve is from here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Did you know that, Tracy, that he's from Cleveland?
I just learned that when watching it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But it was not only was it just a jersey, it was like a Jim Brown jersey or something like that.
Oh,
That's
wow.
disrespectful.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
Whoa.
Like, I would be
there.
mad if y'all bleached my jersey.
Oh, they get all these.
But he hooked him up. You gotta watch it.
If it was
Isn't
Tim
that how you
Couch or
start the
somebody,
Yeah, that's how I had. Yeah. You do
Tim
Jim
Couch
Brown like
jerseys
that,
can
you
get
get
you.
all these gunshots.
Oh, wait a
Man.
minute. I know we're not talking about Jim Brown. What was the conversation earlier this week?
Wait, what?
Weren't we talking about how Deshaun Watson will
Oh,
pass
yeah,
Jim Brown?
Oh, Tracy, this is what I said.
Somebody said that crazy.
I said if the Browns win the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
I'm just talking about one.
You said
If
last
he
night.
went and he's the reason, Tracy, you know how this is a quarterback driven league.
Yeah.
If they win the Super Bowl and he's the reason, I said he'll surpass LeBron and Jim Brown as like
no.
they'll love him forever.
Put it this way,
No.
that was the case
They will love
before.
him
Thank you, Kat,
forever.
but he's not even a
No.
Cleveland fan. Come on.
He first of all, LeBron built a school. So Cleveland is forever indebted to LeBron. Like, you got to understand, when LeBron left Cleveland, your economy went down.
Exactly.
People stopped going to the bars when LeBron left. Like,
Exactly.
I hear you. Top modern time, I can hear if you bring a bold, Deshaun Watson would be loved more than Jim Brown, but LeBron, that's uncharted territory.
I don't even know about more than Jim
No.
Brown.
Yeah, because I feel like I lost some fans.
Bro, it's
for him, yeah.
Tracy, it's a football town, bro. That Cavs championship ain't gonna mean more than the Super Bowl.
But
it's not
LeBron
his
means more than
championship,
football.
It's his whole empire.
LeBron
He's
means
hometown
he's a
boy.
hometown hero. Like,
He got. Did you see how he acted a fool at the All-Star weekend? All of a sudden, he's from Cleveland. He's representing Cleveland on the All-Star team. Like, he just went Cleveland crazy. He
He did.
can't let us go. It's like a bad relationship.
if LeBron ran for president, Cleveland would vote for him.
You are absolutely right.
You right. You right.
You are
I still stand by what I say. That
I
don't mean
know.
LeBron not great or anything, but I'm
No,
just letting you
that's
know.
not what we're
It's
getting.
just like, yeah, you're talking about the Cleveland. I mean, you're from Cleveland. You know your city better than I do. But from afar,
Yeah.
LeBron is God to y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the
So
end,
you talking about Cleveland?
But I'm trying to equate it to, that's why I'm trying to tell you how we feel about our football. If basketball was number one in Cleveland, you would be absolutely 100% right, bro. But it's not number one in Cleveland. The reason why it was so huge was because the Browns since 99 have been so terrible. So LeBron getting drafted in 03 and turning this ship around, and we were not winning championships, but just being relevant.
Making it to the playoffs.
Yes, just being relevant. It was beautiful. It was everything. Because the Indians weren't, they weren't winning either. So it was like, oh my God, he's from Akron. We could all identify with him. Everything like that.
I hear you.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know
I
that
do
the
know a
football in
fan,
Cleveland is number one, bro. I'm just letting you
And
know.
as we said, the Browns as a whole will completely blow the Cavs out of the water championship-wise. Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Team-wise, there's no argument. Absolutely. Individual-wise, no.
If y'all put it like this,
I
let's
agree.
say y'all won a Super Bowl, right? Let's say y'all did win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
And y'all did a Mount Rushmore. You're
Yes.
sculpting LeBron first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as long as
Not if
Watson's
Deshaun Watson. I'm telling you, not if Deshaun Watson is by far the reason we did it. That's
No.
my opinion.
He got to go on a run. He got to get like 4.
Listen,
Yeah.
No,
Listen.
hell no.
One won't
That's
do
way-
it.
they're
LeBron
talking about
is getting
building a
hosted
statue.
All he need is one, bro. All he
They're
need is
talking
one.
about building a statue of LeBron before he's even dead. I mean, like they're
he's
like,
going
we
to-
can do it now.
he's going to
Like,
get a
they're
statue
like,
built.
No,
That's not
we
going to
need a
change.
LeBron statue.
But I'm not
hear
saying
you.
that. That's not going to change though, Ma. I'm not saying the statue is still going to be built of LeBron.
Right.
I'm just saying, y'all. if I wish we could have like a little time travel machine or something like that to where the hypothetical happened and they won the Super Bowl just so y'all can see the reaction. Just so y'all can see.
Christian also says no. So
I hearken it to this.
Oh, it's okay that I'm outnumbered.
Come on. No, I hear you, but you got to remember, I live in Philly. Philly, bro. And the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and I live in a football town. This is a football town. The Eagles won the bowl. Don't nobody mean more to the Eagles than AI is bigger than any Eagle. That's one that won the Super Bowl that year. You see what I mean? The Eagles are bigger than the Sixers, but
it wasn't a legend. But it wasn't one player on the Eagles that was that dominant, that was that important though. You got to look at that Eagles team. Nick Folk was a backup, bro. He was a backup.
I got you.
But what has he done since that Super Bowl? Nothing. It's nobody that was on that Super Bowl squad who was like a face or a player that we think about that's in a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, or anything like that. Deshaun Watson got a chance to be on that.
I hear you. We'll see. It's your city.
So
you say LeBron, you're talking about uncharted territory.
I'm
Look,
sorry.
and you know I'm a LeBron fan. I think he the GOAT, but I'm just telling you how the city reacts to football. That's it.
But Illy, to your point of what you just said, that Philly team did not have people who stood out. We already have Myles Garrett, who we love. We already have Denzel Ward, another hometown boy. So Deshaun Watson is not going to get all the credit.
Like
if he's the reason, that's why I put the caveat. If he's the reason, if we win the Super Bowl and Deshaun Watson doesn't play well, then that's not what I said. But if he throws 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 300 yards, and he the Super Bowl MVP, and that trade we traded for him gave him $230 million guaranteed, and he proves that it was worth all of that. That's why I'm throwing all those details in it together. Huh?
I hear you, but only one team came back from 3-1 in the finals, in the playoffs.
I get it, but that's basketball. It wasn't football, bro.
I hear you, but that's legendary. That's one of the greatest. Listen, I hear you. That's all right. Let's look. You gotta look at it like this. That's one of the greatest sports moments. Period.
It is.
That's top 10 greatest sports moments. Period.
But he still gave us 1 in 11. 1 in 11.
Listen.
1 in 11 seasons.
All you need is 1, bro.
I don't care how long it took.
You just proved my point about the Browns. All we need is 1. That's what I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying. Excel him above LeBron.
But you mean just in Cleveland? That's what you're saying.
LeBron won y'all a chip that's in the top 10 all-time championships of all sports.
Yeah.
If Deshaun wins a Super Bowl, it has to be top 10 performances all time, because that's what LeBron did.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying.
For your city, he put on one of the best.
I'm telling you. If he plays great like LeBron did for us, if Deshaun Watson plays great, if he has a Joe Flacco or Eli Manning run like that, where they had those great runs in the playoffs, and he's the reason. It's not because of Myles Garrett. It's not because of Denzel Ward. It's not because of Nick Chubb. It's because of Deshaun. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, we'll see when they win.
Yeah. Jim Brown, I agree, but you said LeBron.
Yeah.
It remains to be seen.
That's a steep mountain to climb.
It
is.
Dang, what were we about to talk about? Y'all got me all
I know, right?
Flustered.
Yeah, but on that
first slap.
we want to talk about the obvious.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Topic of the week.
All right, yes, the topic of the week.
The topic of the month.
All right. So Tracy, before I get into Fumble the Bag, so Fumble the Bag is a segment that I came up with. If anything unfortunate or silly is happening to an individual or a team or whatever the case, it could be sports related, it could be anything in real life. Fumble in the bag is that. So, with that being said, let's get into it.
We got the clip. We're going to watch the clip.
Really?
Harvey and Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Light laugh. No one look.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard.
He was sticking with the joke.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Nick wife's name out your fucking mouth. Wow, dude. Yeah. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out.
All right.
We got to give like a 5 out of 5 on the form.
We got
That was perfect.
Wait, Tracy. Let me what the 5 fingers say to the face. But before anybody comment, before we get into the actual topic, so this is why I'm making this fumble the bag.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
All right. I want to pause it here because this is important for context, why I'm giving Will fumble the bag. So, as he said the joke, immediately, Will Smith is laughing. Oh, clap, laughing. It's funny. And then we see Jada to the side. You can't see it really right here because I paused it a little early. You saw Jada. She was rolling her eyes and she was, she didn't like it. She was disgusted by it. Yeah. Then the camera rolls off. It goes back to Chris. So the reason I'm giving Will Smith fumble the bag is because of this. I don't believe what he did in that moment was genuine. And I say that because of this. Jada has alopecia, for people that don't know. I'm pretty sure they know by now because it's been everywhere on social media. But she didn't like it because it wasn't her choice to shave her head. It wasn't her choice. So, but Will Smith thought it was funny. It was funny. He was chuckling and everything. But then you see your wife, you see her upset, and then you go up there and you smack him. So it's 2 things I have an issue with. One, I don't think he should have did it live on stage. I think he could have checked him backstage. You could have got the same impact, same result. You could have did that backstage. 2, I want to go back to the genuine thing. He thought initially it was funny what Chris Rock said. So I feel like there is something deeper between him and Jada. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something philosophical or something psychological that's going on between those two. I don't think Chris Rock was an issue per se. I think it's what's going on between him and Jada at home or wherever that really got Will riled up, that decided to make him go off. But everybody wants to blame Chris Rock, and everybody wants to say, oh, Will Smith, yeah, you protected your woman. You protected your wife. Why can't Jada protect Will in that instance and say, you see him getting up, you see him going on stage? Why can't you say, babe, chill, just chill. I know it was a joke. I didn't like it. Don't go do nothing we regret. Let's handle this somewhere else. Why can't she protect him? Why does it have to be, oh yeah, Will, he smacked Chris Rock because of his wife was upset. So those are my 2 points. That's why I'm giving him fumbled the bag. Now we can lead into your opinions about this this polarizing moment. So who would like to go first? Because I know it's a lot of talking mouths right now that's ready.
I'm new here, so I'm gonna get mine out.
Go ahead, Billy D. Go ahead.
Okay. I identify first when I see the whole scene. Will Smith is the biggest name, but I identify myself more with Chris Rock because if in my true element, I am comedic, I'm witty, and I would get at somebody like that, and my intent wouldn't be to hurt. So what I think is Chris meant no malice. So the problem is with Will and his wife, obviously, and I still blame Will, obviously, for reacting like that at that time. And it wasn't genuine to Chris, but it was genuine to his wife. His problem was so deep that he had to do that to defend his relationship at home, rather than his relationship with that joke to Chris Rock. Because I'm sure worse things have been said in other instances in public. Because he's been on TV around the whole world, and so, yep, absolutely right. He and Jada is the issue.
I like that. Thank you, Billy D. All right, go ahead, Marley Marl, since you right there next to Billy D.
I wasn't ready. I was ready to listen to everybody else's opinions. That's how you call me that. Call me that. All
right. Charla Mae.
So I agree that it was the wrong thing to do. Now I will say this. Sometimes people laugh when they're uncomfortable or nervous. So I don't know if he found it funny. It just was kind of a reaction, possibly. So I don't know if it was like funny, ha. It was just like, ooh, just how sometimes people think people are laughing and being disrespectful when really it's them being uncomfortable. I do think it should have been handled off camera. But I want to focus on the reaction of the people around Will, because clearly something is wrong for him to snap like that. Because there's no way, the way the world is, the cancel culture, how quickly people will take things from you. And if you're even in any type of normal state of mind, good and well, you don't get up in front of millions of people, especially people of other ethnicities, who are going to judge you anyway and do something like that and risk your career. So something's going on with him that needs to be explored. But I appreciate the way that the older men around him, the Denzel and the Tyler, kind of came to help support him. I do think they should have had him leave. I don't think it was okay for him to stay because it just made it more uncomfortable. But I do appreciate people kind of looking out for him because he was in tears, crying, because he was so upset and so angry. And again, I agree with you. I don't think it was Chris. I think Chris just happened to be the victim at that point. I think he probably would have flipped out on the next person who said something about him and or Jada because of what they've been through over the years, the jokes, the constant scrutiny, the constant, question. And earlier in the show too, I saw this today. There was a scene or a skit where they had a bunch of single men come on stage, and that was a whole whatever. I think it was Amy Schumer, and they called the single men on stage, and then she goes to Will. She said, "Oh, Will, you're single, right? Oh yeah, your marriage doesn't count." So that was not even the first jab they took that night. So he probably was just like, you know what? I'm over it. I got to prove myself to the world that me and my wife are not a joke. But again, the setting was wrong. I'm glad he finally did apologize. He should have apologized that night. And I hope that those two can work it out as grown men. Although I think now Tony Rockett's getting involved and it might just blow back up again. But I hope they can just model how it doesn't have to become this long-standing beef and years and fights and all that. And, they can, both grow. And poor Chris. I commend Chris as well. That's the last thing I'm going to say, because that took a lot to not respond physically. He knew where he was. Oh, Lord. You're not on here. No comments from you. He he realized where he was and everything that was at risk. And if he would have took it to another level, he would have lost a lot too. So I do commend Chris Rock for, maintaining the cool and moving on and being professional.
Yeah. Hey Tracy, before I let you go, and I love Will Smith. I'm a huge fan. Love the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That one of the first TV shows one of the first sitcoms I saw that I really fell in love with. So it was hard for me to not defend Will. But go ahead, Tracy.
My turn.
Yep.
Here's my opinion. I disagree with what everybody was saying. I'm in full support of Will Smith's decision to walk up on that stage and smack somebody. And I'm a firm believer that there is no place, no setting that is above. I'm a firm believer in like masculinity, and I don't see any issue with somebody. Sometimes somebody needs to be smacked in the face, because that's when you learn that you sometimes can't cross the line. And I feel like a lot of perspectives on this topic aren't taking into consideration things that either A, happened in the past, or B, happened without us even knowing. Right. Now, if you judge it, and if you judge everything inside of a vacuum where you just judge what we saw, hold on, Mr. Brian, I'm gonna break it down. I've thought about this, and just give me my time. Listen, if you judge it in a vacuum and you look at those specific events, I can see how everybody concludes that Will Smith is wrong. But I don't look at it from that perspective. I look at it back from in 2016 when Chris Rock made a joke about the Oscars so white and how he compared Jada Pinkett not wanting to be at the Oscars, and he compared it to Rihanna's panties, saying that nobody was invited. I look at that specific moment where he had Jada's name in his mouth. I look at when Will Smith said happy birthday to his ex-wife on Instagram, Chris Rock had something to say about Jada in regards to that. I look at it when Chris Rock had something to say about Will Smith's money when he wasn't nominated for concussion, and Jada Pinkett said something about that. Then Chris Rock had something to say about, oh, well, I know it's not fair that he's nominated for a concussion, but it also wasn't fair that he got $20 million for Wild Wild West. And I think I can speak for any man. Like, don't talk about my women and don't talk about my money, right? And I feel like there was a history of Chris Rock saying things in direct relation to A, his money, and B, his wife on multiple occasions, right? So now I think outside of what we see on television, I think conversations took place prior to this event where it was like, yo, bro, like, why do you always have our name in your mouth? Like, I understand there's certain jokes, but like, you gotta like reel it back a little bit. And I think there's a difference between looking at a joke on the internet and dealing with the reality of being in front of somebody doing it to you multiple times, right? And that's what I think is an element that we're not looking at. I think a lot of people are looking at the smack across the face as if it was strike one. I don't think that was strike one. I think it was more of a strike three. You know what I mean? And in the end, were the optics of it wrong? Of course, right? A lot of people will say he shouldn't have done it on live television. I'm perfectly fine with it. I don't really care. I think we're becoming a society where we're too, I don't want to use any foul language really, but like we're too fairy tale with the reality of stuff, right? Where we're in this cancel culture, where we're in this, you always got to have a smile on your face and take everything because you got money. No, I think I don't think no type of celebrity is above a human response, right? And I just think that what we witnessed was a human response. I think the apology was fine when he even gave his acceptance speech and he didn't mention Chris Rock. I don't think he needed to mention Chris Rock. I think Chris Rock knew he crossed the line because prior to the snap, like, you got to think about it. We didn't see it. We saw Chris Rock, but we didn't see what Chris Rock was referring to, because he even said, oh, that was just a nice one. Let it, you know what I mean? Like, he even said that. So he was obviously responding to something that he was seeing. So I just think that we didn't say, again, just to recap, I don't think we saw something that was strike one. I felt like we saw a strike three. And I felt like Chris Rock has crossed the line a couple times, and we looked at the accumulation of disrespect. And that's what Will Smith was responding to. It wasn't just that singular joke. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion. I'm perfectly fine with it. I don't think anybody should lose anything. I mean, for goodness sakes, Chris Rock is making more money because of it. Mm-hmm. He done doubled the prices of his stand-up. He's pulling out the show. If anything, Will Smith did him a favor. He took 5 seconds of pain to make twice the amount of money. Mm-hmm. Right? Because there's no, remember, in society, I mean, in publicity, there's no such thing as bad publicity. The Oscars got more views. Oh, okay, Mr. Brown, I see you. But you can check the reviews of the Oscars. People didn't tune in to there's a lot of people that said I didn't even know the Oscars was on until the smack happened.
Right.
Now the Oscars ratings are up. The Oscars are being talked about 2-3 days afterwards. Who talked about the Oscars last year? Exactly. So it's like,
all right, Tracy, let my mom get in there.
I got you.
Dragging the tail.
Let her get in there.
Okay. I'm just going to say all the things that I said on our chat. First of all, yes, he's a comedian. If he was going back and always talking about people, that's what comedians do. They talk about people. You know, when you go to a comedy show, you don't sit in the front row because they're going to talk about you. And you especially don't get up and go to the bathroom while they're talking. They will call you out and they will talk about you. That's what comedians do. Comedians have comedic license. If you want to be sensitive, well, that's on you. So, no, I don't think he's wrong. The reaction that he had is the reaction that he had. I personally think he had plenty of time in that long ass walk up the stage and around that bend to think about what he was doing. And then on a whole nother note, I hate when we do that in front of them. Mm-hmm. Like, why do we give them things to say about us? You know, because my philosophy is if you don't want people to say nothing about you, don't give them nothing to say. We just gave them something to say. And, you know, everything is on the 10-minute delay. Ever since the Janet Jackson nipple incident, everything is on like a 10-second delay. They could have cut that. They chose to show it. Why did they choose to show it?
Ratings.
Why did they choose to show that? You feel what I'm saying? They could have did a quick cut. Just like they would have if it was another nipple incident. You know what I'm saying? Why did they choose to show it? Because they want to have some reason to say that we're animals. Look, see?
That's a separate conversation if you want to know why I think they showed it.
You would think that when people got on tuxes, they would act like they got some sense. Look, he walked up on stage and just smacked him. You know what I'm saying? We gave them things to say. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So also, I'm going to say for my brother who is not on here, if you're going to smack me in public, you need to apologize in public. Don't be hiding behind no damn Instagram. What the fuck? If you going to punch me in public, you apologize in public. I mean, so like everybody's like, oh yeah, that's so nice. He apologized. No, on that night, when you were up on stage crying and you were feeling how you felt, you apologize to everybody but the person you smacked. You apologize to all of them. Oh, I'm sorry to the Academy. Oh, I'm sorry to all of these people that I've hurt. You didn't say nothing about disrespecting that man because that's what you did. You disrespected him. Whether you was upset, you disrespected him on national TV. You could have did it backstage. I would have had more respect for you if I had heard about it on TMZ the next day. Hey, did you hear that Will Smith and Chris Rock got into it backstage? He smacked him and said, hey, keep my name on because, you know, they have this thing. I would have had more respect. Like, oh, yeah, go stand up for your woman. But not on stage. You don't have to do that on stage. Stop giving them fuel to have to talk about us and why we don't need to have the same rights as them. Because look, they're animals. Look at them.
And guess who was producing the Oscars?
A black man.
Will Packer. So that's just something else.
That's how I feel.
A little bit more. I mean,
like he had.
I don't know. I feel like I've been seeing a different response from them. Personally, like I feel like I was seeing it different. I mean, that's just me. I know everybody sees it from their own perspective, but I see a lot more support for Will than I anticipated on seeing. Like, and I'm not even talking about from like celebrities. I'm talking about just from social media engagement. For example, like I've seen people attack Jim Carrey because of Jim Carrey's grandstanding. I've seen people attack Judge Apatow. I've seen people attack Zoe Kravitz. Like the social media engagement is attacking the people that have something negative to say about what Will Smith did.
But don't wait until you're experiencing backlash on social media before you apologize.
BJ, I agree, BJ.
I have a question about that. Iliyaas, I have a question to ask you about that.
if you felt like you did something wrong, you apologize, and you don't wait until you hear your publicist come to you and say, hey, this isn't looking good for you. You need to put a statement out there.